Hello, this is my first Pecha Kucha, so I'm a little bit nervous about the time frame and to keep the pace, but this is about a course that I inherited in physical distribution planning and my project of changing that course to correspond more to my beliefs of teaching. The existing course was a very traditional one with lectures, calc exercises, and a small group project, and then a written exam in maritime logistics bachelor program, and with 30 to 50 students. And this course got really bad reviews. The last year it was given in 2012. More than half of the students thought the course was very bad or really bad or bad, and none of them thought it was very good. So I went back to my beliefs, what I think a course should have, and I think that understanding should be much more important than knowledge of facts. I also very much wanted to get rid of the written exams at the end of the course. They do not promote knowledge and understanding, they only promote test takers, really, and society does not want test takers. So my job was to make the students understand the subject faster and better than I did when I was a student. And I also think that a challenging course can actually be very fun. So I built a new course on 4 different pillars. I had a traditional block of a textbook and some lectures. This was only 35% of the course now. Another additional 15% was made up of research papers. This was a new thing for this course, and seminars around those, and half of the course was then taken up by a real world case, which we will come to. The research papers, 11 papers, were distributed among groups of 5 students each, and each group had to present and lead the discussion of one of these papers in front of the whole class. And this was a very rewarding exercise. I found that it was a really good way to engage the students, and also for me to keep the course contents more current. And we use random presentation, which means the student didn't know that they had to present in advance, which was also very good. So a good experience overall with the research papers. Now, the research papers and the contents of the book, I wanted to test knowledge transfer in some way, so I introduced the midterm tests, which was not about written exams at all. This was more multiple choice, but with enhanced mechanisms to promote understanding and to go against guessing. These midterm tests was given twice during the course and again in the exam week if they wanted. And I used what I call mean squared error grading for these tests. The choices were between 1 and 0 for each question, and they could answer in decimal form as well. And all the errors that they made was squared, and the mean value for all these squared errors was calculated to form a score of how well they know these 24 questions. So guessing is not a very good way to make these tests. If you don't know, you answer 0.5 instead of guessing 1 and 0, because that will give you the least punishment overall. And the students, of course, they got their scores, and I got scores about which of these questions were the hardest for the students and which of these questions they guessed at most. And to create more than one loop here, I created feedback films where I took all the questions and did a film like this one in order to promote or to show the students each question and also the statistics of each question, so they knew which ones were considered difficult and not. And this was a really good way to promote. I could talk about this for a whole day if I wanted to. This was just a short glimpse of these midterm tests, which I think has been working better than the exams, both in terms of grading and me getting to know the students. Now, half of the course was a case, which with a made-up company called Appelsin, which makes computers, and I was the CEO of this company, and this company needs help in planning their distribution system, and they wanted a sales pitch for a new solution in the end of the course. This was the whole course, 7 weeks this case was doing. And we had real data, we had fake data, we had missing, obscure, and faulty data, and meetings with the CEO, with me as CEO, to give them additional information. And all of this became very frustrating because it was open-ended, which was good, I think. The meetings we recorded, we filmed everything. We used that when we graded the students. And we also had random presenters like we did with the papers, which was also really good because they all had to learn the materials when they had their presentations. And the reflections here was we wanted a case that resembled reality, and I think we got a case that resembled reality. It was a lot of work for the students. It was also very fun and difficult for us. And the students are really frustrated when the tasks are open-ended, like they are in real life. So very good, I think. Now, the course evaluation was very interesting. They wanted me to keep the films, keep the scoring system, keep the research papers, keep the random presentation scheme. They wanted some changes in the case, so we will work more with the case to keep it to make it even more real world like. And overall, the course was a very for me a very giving experience to do this course, and I want to introduce even more good things next year, like videos and so on. So thank you for listening. This was my presentation.